Hello, everyone. Welcome to BayernNow, the ultimate Bayern Munich fan channel. If we end up signing Mason Mount, I'd kill myself. Y'all will see me in a body bag somewhere. Nah, we can't sign Mason Mount. But the title's in there, because there was a story linking us to him that Tuchel likes him, wants him at Bayern. But I'd rather die. I would rather sign Timo Werner times 10 than get Mason Mount. At least Werner can speak German. Imagine having to accommodate Mason Mount in this team, dude. Be crazy. Anyways, Thomas Tuchel is, look, the loss to Freiburg was annoying, but it was actually equalized by Leipzig beating Dortmund and Dortmund losing. There were Dortmund fans on Twitter. I don't know why they do this to themselves. I don't do it for them. They were laughing at us. Look at you. Look at Bayern. You lost. And then the day after, they lose. At least wait for your team to play first before laughing at Bayern. Because if Dortmund beat Leipzig, then, they can laugh and say, you lost, we won. You wait 24 hours because your team's playing tomorrow, G. And your team. Some freaking bottlers, man. More bottles than Coca-Cola. So, yeah, I don't know why Dortmund fans thought it'd be good to make fun of Bayern for getting kicked out of the Pokal when they're going trophyless. We're going to win the Bundesliga. They're not in the Champions League. They're no longer in the Pokal either. I don't even know if they're going to get second, man. Leipzig obliterated them. I don't know why Leipzig haven't played like that against the recent teams they've been playing, but that makes them like clear Pokal favorites, and it kind of annoys me because imagine if it was Leipzig, Bayern, like we would be clear favorites. But here we go. Leipzig winning 2 trophies in a row. Oh my gosh, that's the Pokal 2 years in a row. And I actually really love the DFB Pokal. No, it's one of my favorite trophies. It literally looks beautiful. Literally, it's golden. It's a cup. It's great, man. Actually, it's one of the most expensive trophies to make in a literal sense. They spend a lot of money on the gold. There's like actual gold in there, I think. I don't know. The Pokal's cool, man. It's really cool. But we're out of that. Dortmund are out. That's better. That's great. It made my life. It made my day to see Dortmund get beat. And I enjoyed it. All right, well, the stream today is Thomas Tuchel's transfer demands, which a few weeks ago, I say a few weeks ago, that's when he got hired. No, about last week, he did mention that, he has an idea of transfers, but of course, he's not telling the board, but we have a very clear idea of what he wants because it was a story that came out about Randall Colomuani. So about Colomuani. Also, a recent story about João Cancelo. Apparently, while we're all sitting here complaining about Cancelo's attitude, Tuchel likes him. Tuchel really likes Cancelo. All right, so let me read this from CF Bayern. Thomas Tuchel is a big fan of João Cancelo. Let me share my screen. Makes life easier, huh? Here we go. Oh, shoot. Let me read these comments. Randall Colomuani. I'm obsessed with that song. More bottles. Oh, shoot. Osimhen. Yeah, so we'll talk about the different strikers, but I don't know about Osimhen. He's too expensive, maybe. Moini isn't a striker. But I'll read the story, and you guys are going to make your mind up. But, okay, so the first one from CF Bayern, from Build, don't know if I trust this. Tuchel is a big fan of João Cancelo, and was impressed when Bayern managed to sign him in January. Bayern are hoping Manchester City would accept the lower fee due to the player's problems with Guardiola. All depends on offers from other clubs. Okay, it depends. It depends, right? I think if Cancelo gets playtime, it's funny because every week the story changes on Cancelo. The truth is he's just a really emotional kid. I bet you Cancelo plotted to leave his parents' house if his mom didn't hug him for, one day. like he forgot to hug him. My man was like in the room plotting his escape to leave, run away from home. I think Cancelo is an emotional individual who requires playtime to be happy. Let's move the screen here. That's why these stories happen, guys. I don't think Cancelo is as toxic as he's made out to be. Yeah, I think he's just a very self-critical guy who, if he doesn't play, like he has probably a low self-esteem, but high confidence in his ability. I don't know. Because a player like Muller, if you bench Thomas Muller, something in his head just makes him go, oh, when I come on for 20 minutes, I'm going to get 3 assists. And you have no choice but to play me next week. Maybe Cancelo doesn't see it that way. He doesn't see sitting on the bench as an opportunity to push himself further. So he's a very weak-minded individual. And this is just my outside perspective. But you don't cry after not playing. You don't go celebrate with your teammates after not playing for 5 minutes. I like Cancelo's ability. Like this guy, he just oozes sauce, man. I love it. Just the little flicks, the elasticos. Man, I love it. That's my kind of footballer. But the attitude stinks. And maybe, you get the good with the bad. But Cancelo, it's not like he doesn't try when he plays. It's just sometimes we don't need to play him because maybe we need a different solution in a game. But if Tuchel wants him and Tuchel thinks he can control that attitude of his, then maybe. But if it's not but make sure it's not a 5-year deal or like 4 years. Nah, get a 3-year contract going. I guess 4 years makes sense. It's fine because he's still, 28 or 29? He's not that old. Yeah, in 3 years, he'll probably still be a high-level footballer. But, you can't have Cancelo here for 5 years and then we're struggling to sell him. Maybe he gets bad and he loses his pace. Yeah, let's not rush into anything. Let's wait for the season to end because there's still a lot of football to play. Lots of games to come. We don't need to rush the decision of trying to get Cancelo, but it looks like Tuchel wants him. Well, we'll talk about Mason Mount in a second because, bro, yeah, Mason Mount joins Bayern. I will kill myself. I will not leave. Anyways, so Kolo Muani, Bayern are aware that Kolo Muani, so the story came out last week that Kolo Muani is a fan of Bayern. We have a lot of French players, Upamecano, Kingsley Coman, Pavard, Lucas Hernandez. Bro, we are French FC, right? I think we have almost the same amount of French players as we have German players. If Müller leaves and Neuer leaves, I think we have more French players. So, yes, Bayern are aware that Randall Kolo... Wait, no, I just thought about it. Gnabry's German. And Sané's German. Kimmich and Goretzka are German. Yeah, we would actually... If Müller leaves, that's assuming Pavard stays. But now we have Tell. I think now we might have more French players than German players. Bayern are aware that Randall Kolo Muani could imagine a move to Munich. Now, everything depends on what Thomas Tuchel wants. If Kolo Muani is a target for the coach, then Bayern could make their move. Manchester United are interested. Guys, it's funny because this community, I've repeated this so many times. We know ball, man. We were talking about Kolo Muani before the season started when we all found out Frankfurt signed this player from Ligue 1 and no one else signed him. And we saw his stats. I was like, this guy's good. And I looked up highlights. I was like, this guy's really good. Either he's going to turn out to be like, who was that one guy from, he played for, crap, I forgot his name. His name escapes me, but he scored a hat trick against us. He's black. Was it Frankfurt he played or Stuttgart? No, but he was really tall, and either Muani turned out to be him or a gem, and he turned out to be the latter. Kolo Muani is a gem, but I don't believe he fits Bayern's philosophy. See, that's the thing. Like, I rate him, and I was among the first to really notice damn, Frankfurt did some great business here. But I'm not deluded. We play in our game is very, I don't know the way to describe this. It's tight. Like teams play defensive against us. Look at the game against Freiburg. What Choupo-Moting did in that game is what most strikers can't do at Bayern. Choupo held the ball up nicely. We lost, but Choupo was holding that ball up perfectly. He was holding that ball better than James Charles. And he was bringing others into play in tight spaces with 3 center backs around him. If it wasn't 3 center backs, it was 3 CDMs and 3 center backs, so 6. But he was surrounded all the time. I don't think Kolo Muani could function that well. And maybe that's something he develops, but we don't need a work in progress. We already have Matisse Tell. Why do we need a work in... Yes! No! Lukebakio! That's who I'm thinking about. Yes! That guy. So I was thinking either he turns into Dodi Lukebakio. I think that's his name, right? Dodi Lukebakio. Wow. PSG International with the ball knowledge. My guy, look at that. You just took the words right out of my mouth, man. That kind of forward where they can play as a winger. You don't really know their best position yet. Yeah. Dodi Lukebakio. Oh, shoot. His stats this season aren't bad. Dude, he has 10 goals, man. For Hertha Berlin, that's a pretty good return. But this man's turning into a journeyman a little bit. Hertha Berlin signed him for 20 mil. Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, they put a lot of belief in him. Man, that's crazy that you brought the name right out when I needed it. We need a classic striker. Yes. So this goes to my next point. I would love not Randall Kolo Muani, not Victor Osimhen, maybe Victor Osimhen. I don't know. I want Harry Kane if we're going for that kind of striker. I think Kane, dog, man, this guy has had world-class seasons as a creative striker and as a goal-scoring striker and as a poacher. And he scores all sorts of goals, penalties. The question is Kane a weak-minded individual who thinks winning a goal scorer award is more important than trophies, or is he someone that's looking for something better? He can't stay at Tottenham forever because they'll never win a trophy. They're managerless and they're still losing games. They sacked Conte and they're still losing games playing the exact same way. It didn't spur the players on, no pun intended, to do better in the next game. They lost in the last minute against Everton. Or actually they drew, but it feels like a loss when you concede in the last minute like that. I'm telling you, as much as I respect what Kane has done, dude, if Bayern come in and say, you're the guy we want, and he says, no, I want to get Alan Shearer's Prem record, dog, you could retire as a footballer, and the only thing you have on your resume is you got Alan Shearer's record in the Premier League. Dog, oh, that's freaking depressing, dude. That's depressing. Happy birthday to Frank Ribéry, my man. Oh, my gosh. See, this is annoying. Tuchel confirms that Choupo-Moting is out of tomorrow's game with a knee problem. Matisse Tell is still out, and Upamecano was suspended. Now, while we're talking about transfers, right? Cancelo is comfortable with his family in Munich, but his decision mainly depends on game time. Playing against his parent club, Manchester City, next week is very important for Cancelo. I hope we play him. I don't know. Do you guys think Musiala will start tomorrow? I mean, I think this is a perfect opportunity to play Musiala, like just tomorrow. We lost to Freiburg, so we shouldn't be happy with how we played against them. And I think put Mala on the bench. If Musiala performs better, then he starts against Man City. We can't make any errors or lapse in judgment against Man City. So we have to find a way to get all our best players ticking in the right positions. Sane, I don't know what you do. Well, obviously, don't start Mane tomorrow. Don't start him, please. No. Tuchel and Davies in today's training. Mazraoui's back in both training. See, this is really good because now we have the ability to start with Cancelo or start with Mazraoui, and if the game's going different, we bring on Cancelo. Davies has to start at left back. I'm sorry, he has to. Oh, shoot. You guys remember the tactics video? How I thought Tuchel was going to line up? Well, one of the things I said was inverted fullbacks. That game against Freiburg proves that Tuchel watched my video, so I'm suing him for copyright infringement. He took my idea, didn't give me credit. Come on, man. All right. In addition to Manchester United, Bayern are also having direct meetings with Frimpong's agents. Bayern's priority for now is to decide on Cancelo's future in May. We signed Mazraoui. This tells me if we sign Frimpong, then maybe Pavard's actually going to leave because Tuchel's going with a back four. And Tuchel doesn't strike me as a coach that's going to change his system just because it doesn't work once. He's not like Nagelsmann in that sense. I mean, they both experiment like with their systems, but Tuchel maintains a structure and he keeps it going. At Chelsea, 4-3-4 or 3-4-3. At PSG, in 2017 to like 2019. No, I think even beyond that, it was always like at least majority of the times, it was a back four. And then maybe injuries would happen and you have to change things a little bit. But Jeremy Frimpong is someone we're looking at. And that's according to Fabrizio Romano. So Man United are in for him, and so are Barcelona. I'm trying to think. Oh, yeah, Barcelona would need a right back. And I think Frimpong would fit at Bayern. Like, he would be the opposite of Alphonso Davies, where he's not a left back, he's a right back. So in that sense, like, yeah, and he's very good defensively. I like Frimpong. I like his style of play. Is he British? Jeremy Frimpong. That's how I know he's not British because I just said his name in a different way. It's not Jeremy. It's Jeremy most likely. And he is from Amsterdam. Yeah, born in the Netherlands. Dude, for some reason, I imagine this dude having a British accent. Anyways, yeah, so he's not from England. That's fine. Not something that was a requirement, right? I was just curious. Yeah, so if we're talking to his agent, then it's interesting. So I think Pavard leaves and Cancelo leaves back to Man City, then I want Frimpong. I think he would be the next best option. Frimpong's scoring goals. He's doing everything, man. He's doing everything. You guys remember the scenario from the Freiburg game? Apparently, Christian Streich went in to give like Pat Musiala, and Musiala was just my man just dodged the interaction. But he still ended up giving him a shirt. Bayern had a training session behind closed doors. Okay. Matisse Tel completed a 30-minute individual session today as he works on his comeback. That was yesterday. Mazraoui resumed full training. Choupo-Moting missing the Freiburg game and potentially missing the City game would be a big miss. Dude, we need a striker, man. City have Alvarez and Haaland. And I would argue, I think Haaland's injured right now. Alvarez is a better footballer than Haaland is and is more dangerous in big games because he's more involved than Haaland. That's the annoying thing. His movement's really good too, especially like between the center back and fullbacks. He's going to be a problem. Muchas largas problemas. All right? He's going to be a big problem. So, yeah, Cancelo, I see my start at Bayern is positive. There's always a certain adjustment period for footballers. That's why I need to integrate myself into the team as quickly as possible to get to know the teammates and the system. So Cancelo likes this club, but he's a weird guy, man. He's an odd guy. He don't play for 5 seconds. He wants to kill himself. All right. Well, you guys are probably wondering about the Mason Mount story. Mason Mount. Mason Mount. Yeah. So a couple weeks ago, some British reporters put out a story. Jacob Steinberg, the Guardian, put out a story that Thomas Tuchel was apparently interested in Mason Mount. bro, if we sign Mason Mount, I'll kill myself. So yeah, Jacob Steinberg from the Guardian. Jacob Steinberg, the Independent. Trent Krem, the Independent. Mason Mount is interested in joining Bayern Munich and reunited with Thomas Tuchel. So Mason Mount's interested, and this was literally a week ago. So March 30th. But there was a story weeks before that said he uses linked to Bayern naturally. Like, I don't get it about this guy. Apparently he's a top professional. Fair enough. But come on, just leave it alone, man. Quit trying to gas it up. Kai Havertz planning transfer for summer. Also, Kai Havertz brought up some points. Does Tuchel want to bring Kai Havertz to Bayern? Does he want to? I would not want to, okay? Kai Havertz on difficulties on rejecting Bayern revealed in 2020. Clearly, that would be still difficult. I don't know what that means. Havertz on Tuchel. We had a very good relationship. I'm grateful working with him again. I'd like it. You never know what will happen in football. Why is Gnabry trending? It can't be for his footballing ability as of recent. Havertz on Tuchel, right? Great relationship. Would you like to work with him again at some point? Definitely. You never know what will happen in football. Everything can happen very quickly. Tuchel, striker. All right. Now, here's the thing. So apparently Tuchel asked Matisse Tell what his position was. I asked Matisse Tell about his position, and he told me he's a striker. But unfortunately, he's also injured. Matisse Tell with that injured position. All right. Now here, Kolo Muani and Harry Kane are the top candidates for the striker position at Bayern this summer. Money would be available. Both can imagine a transfer to Bayern, but both will be extremely expensive. I imagine Kane has to be less expensive than Kolo Muani because Muani's one, way younger, and two, he has a way longer contract, so Frankfurt would demand a lot. Kane is at Tottenham with a 2-year contract, and why would Spurs risk the chance of him going to another Prem club? So really, the only possible destinations for Kane, I don't think Real Madrid would sell Benzema because he's still up there, but I think Madrid might care. But I think they want Mbappe, so that's not I don't think that's something they want. Yeah, I think Kane's ours, man. Kane has to be ours if we want him. Where's he going to go? Where else? Because Spurs aren't going to sell him to Man United and then have him score goals against them every week. Well, the alternative would be have him score goals against them in the Champions League, which is arguably more important than the league for Spurs because it's the only competition they'll ever get close to winning, which is go to the final against Liverpool. So, yeah, no, the point is, if Kane's the guy, then it's easier to get him than Kolo Muani. I would imagine he's less expensive. There's no way Spurs can try to, squeeze maybe 70 million max, but ain't no way maybe Barcelona might want to sell Levy and buy someone else. I don't know, but we are not going to get Kane in that. Oh, shoot. Thomas Tuchel said Mane or Gnabry will start as striker tomorrow, with Choupo missing due to knee problems. Why don't you just do Muller at striker and do Musiala behind him? Well, I'm assuming Musiala is going to start at left wing and Sané is going to go at right wing because Coman sucked last game. I don't know, man. We got to get back in form. Every player needs to start fixing up, man. So this is what Brazo said, Salihamidzic, on whether a new striker will be signed this summer. Of course, we'll sit down and see what we'll do on the transfer market. He told Sky Deutschland about possible deal for new number 9, Fabrizio Romano. Here we go. Confirm now. Here we go. Bayern monitoring many options in order to decide with Tuchel. I don't know. So there's a lot, right? There's a lot. Musiala is starting, he said. Okay. I didn't read that comment. Okay, so that's good. Pretty sure Hag wants Kane. Yeah, he would fit like Man United in Ten Hag's system perfectly instead of that freaking horse Weghorst. I hated him in the Bundesliga, and I hate him. I hate watching footballers like Weghorst, man. There's just nothing good about him. He's just tall, lanky, and just predictable, you know? You know he's trying to back into you as a center back. It must be annoying to defend against someone like him, but come on. Okay, it's pretty simple. Let's get a new coach every week. Nothing will change. We lost a 41-goal striker. That's only Bundesliga. Got a 17-year-old backup one in Chupo. Common sense. Well, that comment is kind of interesting because 41 goals. Musiala is contributing. Sane has some goals. Gnabry has some goals. Even Mane has a goal. Goals is not what we have lacked this season. I think consistency in the system and structure is what pained us the most. And that's what led to Nagelsmann being sacked. I don't think we miss Lewandowski as much as we still beat Inter, beat Barca, beat PSG, and we could potentially go beat Man City. Striker is not what we have Choupo-Moting, who I would argue I trust Choupo more in big games to score that needed goal than I did Lewandowski. I always brought up this excuse that, Lewandowski, man, he occupies center backs in big games, but he was always getting a big chance in big games. And, here's an option, Gonçalo Ramos being our new number 9. See, this guy kind of made a crazy impression at the Euros. Oh, no, not Euros, World Cup, because I think he scored, was it a hat trick? I remember him scoring some crazy amount of goals for his team. He's 21 years old. Guys, that's the kind of striker that actually might be better. Like, his name isn't out there as much. But nice little Portuguese, probably has that high technical ability. He's from Benfica. I don't know. I haven't watched him as much, so I'm just kind of making assumptions. But my man has scored in the Champions League, has a bunch of assists, scored in the Champions League qualifiers. Like, he's going under the radar, low key. So, I don't know, man. Do you go with someone like him? Why do Bayern Munich sell the most football shirts? Damn, man. Forgot we did that. Yo, we are really that club, aren't we? We really do be doing the most business. Yeah, man. Let's get El Pistolero. Come on. Pow, pow, pow. Like, if his hold-up play is good, then Ramos could be a very effective signing. I don't know how expensive he'd be, but I wouldn't mind him, man. I would not hate it. But then we have Matisse Tell, who I would argue, if he molds himself in the next 3 years, he's going to be 20. Like, Tell will still be 20. Like, Tell could suck for the next 3 years and still be young in 3 years. Like, that's the thing. So, and he could improve. He could take 7 years to become the man we think he's going to be. And dog, he would still be 24. He would be Kolomuani's age. So patience with Tau, but does Tuchel see himself as, needing someone now, or is he willing to wait? That's the question. So I don't know. It's all an interesting situation. Also, why aren't we talking about a DM, man? Like, dude, we need a Moises Caicedo at Bayern. Sorry, I mispronounced his name. We need a CDM. I have always been jealous of Real Madrid because now they got Chouameni and even Camavinga can play that position. Having that lone CDM like Javi Martinez, that destroyer, that gives your other midfielders license. Kimmich is not a CDM. People say he's the best CDM in the world. He's not that great defensively. Like he loses headers. Sometimes he loses 50-50s in the midfield. Like he's smart, he's intelligent. He makes good interceptions here and there. But over a period of 90 minutes, he's a central midfielder like Toni Kroos is, but maybe with more mobility than Toni Kroos. That's what Kimmich is. He's tempo control. He should be on the ball as much as possible, making passes in between the lines, and he has the quality and the consistency to do it with both feet, not just right foot, both feet. Kimmich is great at all of that, but he needs like a hardcore freaking macho man next to him. You know, he needs that. So that's what I hope we get. We need a CDM, not freaking Konrad Laimer. Konrad Laimer. See, everyone was saying, "Oh, he played so well against Dortmund." Well, I don't like that performance from Konrad Laimer because he played well against a team that, well, one, it's Dortmund, so it's just Dortmund. But two, his team didn't have possession like that. Konrad, like, you got to add context. Konrad Laimer plays really well in transitional games where it's up and down. But at home, Leipzig had less of the ball than Dortmund did, and he didn't perform. You know who was carrying Leipzig's midfield that we should have maybe signed? Xaver Schlager. Xaver Schlager. I don't know his name. Schlager. 25 years old, midfielder from Wolfsburg at Leipzig. That's the guy that carries Leipzig's midfield. That's the guy that he's their Kimmich with more like defensive like power about him. So I'm annoyed that we're signing Laimer instead of a CDM when we really desperately need one. Because think about it, Goretzka is a box-to-box midfielder. He has a goal desire. Like you see Goretzka getting on the end of crosses sometimes in the opposition's box, not our box defending. And that leaves a huge gap, man. And having that CDM gives you the ability to perform highly in games like Man City, right? City have Rodri. I don't think Rodri's better than Casemiro defensively or Chouameni defensively. That means City sometimes suffers counterattacks. Rodri is more of a balance between ball playing and also defending. He's a balance, right? But he still gives Gundogan and De Bruyne a license to go forward. And he still reads the game well. So City have that. Who do we have? We have to rely on a double pivot. If they don't work out, something's going to break down. At least with a specialist CDM. I've been a CDM. I played that position, right? It's a tough position because you're always confused about where's the opponent trying, what are they trying to do with this attack? And you're thinking, like, I think it's one of the hardest positions to play in football because not only off the ball, but on the ball. But off the ball, you got to, like, build scenarios in your mind. Okay, he's trying to pass out wide. And then you're not thinking about, let me intercept him passing out wide. You're thinking about, okay, if I let him pass out wide, what's the next step? Like, it's chess, right? Does my knight move here? Maybe I should move my pawn up, free my bishop. Like, I just got into chess. Now I'm a geek, man. I'm a chess geek. It hurt my brain. I played for about 2 hours yesterday, and I learned chess a week ago, and now I'm an expert. I'm beating computers. I'm getting better. But, there was a week where I didn't know where anything moved, and I was just, messing around with pieces, getting freaking checkmated by computers with basic moves. And now I'm like, I was playing for 30 minutes straight with the same computer. I got to a point where I almost lost. Like, even though he only had his king on the board, and I had my rook and I think I had a knight, and dude, I just couldn't figure out, like, my mind wasn't working. Like, there was so many things I could have done. Now I remembered last night. I woke up this morning. I was like, damn, man, I should have moved my bishop here. Bro, I'm a geek now. Should have moved my bishop here. I shouldn't have done that move. Anyways, so that's what a CDM does. He's supposed to be super intelligent, reading attacks. When the opponent moves here, okay, I'll make the interception, where I'll get myself in this position to block this passing lane, because that's where I think they're going to go. And if it doesn't work, then I have to do this. CDMs have to think a lot. We don't have that, right? We have two midfielders that go forward and press. And if that breaks down, our attack's getting attacked, or our defense is getting exposed. De Ligt's in a 1v1 now. Upamecano has to make a tackle, and then he gets a yellow card. It's not great. So I think we need a Tchouaméni at Bayern. We need a Casemiro. Maybe not like Casemiro, because he's a scumbag. That guy can kick your nuts and then start holding his own nuts, because I don't know. He's such a weirdo, man. But we need that kind of player. Like Javi Martinez had, like we had him. Like Thiago. Every year we have won the Champions League, we had a power-hungry CDM who intercepted a lot. Thiago Alcantara. Everyone thinks Thiago was this flair, beautiful on-the-ball midfield. Thiago was making crunching last-ditch challenges in our box. He was destroying and breaking up opposition plays. We need that. We need that again. What do you think about Mount? I think Mount is a terrible, terrible footballer. And if we sign him, I won't live. I won't live. I think Tuchel should start as winger and then transition into our future striker. Do you think that would be more beneficial to his development over time? Because I'm in a point where I'm just like, just let him play what he wants to play, you know? Kolomoani, Benassar. Yeah, Ishmael Benassar. Oh man, I don't know. I don't know anymore these days, because I haven't been following AC Milan as much as I used to. I would literally watch AC Milan in the Champions League just to watch Ishmael Benassar. And then Liverpool dunked on them last season, so it wasn't much of a great thing to watch. But so yeah, Benassar is probably still cooking. Okay, if you guys wanted to sign a winger, because it looks like Tuchel likes wingers, at least, you know, with the way he's using Sane and Coman so far. I think Kvaratskhelia. We got to try, man. We got to try. We are that club. We can try it. We can get Kvaratskhelia. We spoke about who could come in, about departures. Okay. We spoke about who could come in. What about departures? Well, Bonassar has to leave. This guy has to go. It's time to go. Yeah, no, he has to go. So please go away, Bonassar. I think Pavard is 50-50, because if he plays right center back, he might be happy to stay. But if Tuchel keeps his back four and Pavard's playing as an inverted right back, then he's going to hate it and leave. It depends if we also win a big trophy. If we win the Champions League, I can see players like Gnabry thinking, I've done enough here, I want to move. Gnabry has. We're going to sell either. It's not Kingsley Coman. I don't know why I thought. What's his name? Sane or Gnabry. And I think Sane is 80%, probably 90% staying. People kind of went at Sane because his wife lives in London, without the context, and a few hours later, turns out their house was under renovation, and that's why his wife's in England, and he lives in a hotel right now while they're fixing their house. Which tells me, if they didn't believe they would live in Germany, why would they fix up their house? Unless, of course, it's to improve the market value. But something strikes me as Leroy Sané is not the kind of guy to need money. Footballers don't fix their homes to sell them for a higher. They're not freaking real estate developers. So I don't know why people thought Sané renovating his home is somehow a sign of him wanting to leave. It's a sign of him wanting to stay here in Munich as long as possible. I'm not here in Munich either. I'm just saying, like, there in Munich. So Sané stays, but I think Gnabry has to go if he continues these terrible performances. We can't keep paying him that kind of money, man. And he might have suitors, man. You never know. Some club might pay 40 mil. Some idiots that don't watch football. They might think, well, Gnabry, he played well against Tottenham. Gnabry against English teams is a different kind of animal, and I think he would work in the Prem. He's less of a. I don't even know what Gnabry's about. Maybe he just needs a new environment and he'll cook. But maybe he might go back to Arsenal. Who knows? So Gnabry probably more likely to leave than any of our attackers. And if he leaves, we're going to need a winger because I like the luxury of choices we have, albeit some of them not great in terms of form. But I like it. So I would sell Gnabry, get Kvaratskhelia, or I know I said he's more of a speed dribbler and he's using his pace a lot. But Rafael Leao would be a decent option, but he just signed a new contract. Rafael Leao. Wait, where's this guy from? Because he legitimately has a Portuguese last name. Is he from that one African country where Portugal, where they all speak Portuguese? What country is that? Angola, right? Is that where they speak Portuguese? Yeah, Angola. Yeah. Damn, man. They really speak Portuguese in Angola. We want players, not sellers. Well, we will have to sell some players because that's how you balance the books. If we just get into the business of buying, we'll turn into Barcelona. Yeah, we don't want that. Guys, boys, good stream. Thank you all for tuning in. So what I think Tuchel wants is a striker, and he has signaled that. I think he wants another attacker, maybe not a striker, but an attacker if he sells Gnabry. I think I hope he wants a CDM, man. I hope he does. CDMs are important. We're talking about him getting players from Chelsea like Kai Havertz or Mason Mount. But why not just go to PSG? That's not the only ex-club he has. PSG is a club he also coached. He should be trying to get us, I don't know, what player you guys want from PSG? Nuno Mendes? Oh, but we already have Davies. I don't know, get whoever you need from PSG. Yeah, we don't only have to go to Chelsea for former Tuchel players. Get Neymar. Instead of trying to reunite with Mason Mount or Kai Havertz, get freaking Neymar, dude. Get Neymar to come to Bayern and cook. Or Kylian Mbappe. You guys don't realize how likely it would be if Bayern really wanted it, we could get Mbappe. Yes, it's too expensive, which is why we'll negotiate to sign Mbappe for 110 million with 5 million in add-ons. Literally, we're the kind of club to make that kind of deal happen. Whereas or we just get Mbappe for free. What am I talking about? Yeah, we'll pay him 30 mil a year. Dude, this dude makes 72 million euros. I mean, albeit that's gross, right? So he's probably getting paid half of that when you take out taxes. 72 million euros, dude. Damn. We ain't going to afford Mbappe, dog. Unless he really takes a big wage cut. I mean, he's going to take a wage cut at Real Madrid, for sure. Madrid ain't paying you more than that. They're going to be paying you maximum 50 million. I mean, actually, it is kind of worth it because I'm thinking of it like, it's one player just getting that much money, but it's Mbappe. This guy's PR is crazy. He will it's probably a fair return on investment if you think about it. This dude's gonna sell shirts, so those shirts it's gonna match up. It's gonna be all good. Estoy bien, pero compa. We are very good, but no, pedo. What does that mean? Man, forgot my Spanish, man. Florian Wirtz. I don't think Wirtz is coming this summer. I think that's a 2024 kind of signing. All right. Thank you, everyone, so much for watching. Mia, send Mia, and peace. Someone says Rasmus Højlund. Damn, what's with these Haaland and Højlunds and Halens? What's with that, man?